Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. Like to welcome you all to the show. Guess what I did, y'all? I wanted to share with the public unknown history about Houston. And what inspired me was the up-and-coming story about Gucci. And we all know what happened with Versace and the fashion industry. And sometimes when you equate fashion, you equate it with New York, Paris, Italy, and even California, right? But none knew or recognized the important role that fashion played in Houston, Texas. So I wanted to highlight fashion in Houston and how Houston was setting trends and how some of the icons or some of the, how can I say, fashionistas, some of the biggest fashion designer names to ever hit America came through Houston, and it came through a department store called Sakowitz. So I set out to tell that story. And so I wanted to interview none other than Robert Sakowitz, who came from the Sakowitz family. And he talked about his grandfather, Tobias, and his father, Bernard, and himself, and what they had to do and how Sakowitz came to be. I mean, very interesting. I mean, a class on business, I'd say. Took it from 1902 up until the present time. You're gonna love this documentary when we put it together. And when I say we, I'm talking about myself and A-Tone Productions. It's gonna be great. He didn't shy away from any questions. He told it exactly as it was. We touched on race relations. We touched up on fashion into what at the time was known as a petroleum or a country city, bringing fashion into that environment. I mean, just a trove of information. And I cannot wait to share it with you guys. We touched on stock market in a sense. We went back as far as a train delivery system. He even shared stories with me about my father, who was managing the delivery drivers for Sakowitz at the time, which I was proud and I was glad to hear. Just the overall experience. And one thing that I took from it, and one thing that I learned is you don't know. Sometimes life throws you a curve. Sometimes the universe gives you gifts in which you didn't expect for it to come, but it was bestowed upon you, right? The only thing you can do is put your best foot forward and try to excel and be the best you can be. And I understand that, right? Because I remember parents would say, hey, whatever you do in life, be the best at it. I don't care if you're a janitor, you be the best janitor that building has ever seen. If you folding towels, you the best towel folder. If you whatever, and they say you be the best at it, whatever you are doing at the time, right? And that is true. But you be the best at it to prove that you're capable of handling tasks. Now, once you prove that you're capable of having tasks, then you move up to be able to show that you are capable of handling even a more higher task. Once you do that, you just keep climbing the ladder. Keep climbing the ladder, right? Until you get to a point to where you like what you're doing, you are achieving your goals, and you are a example of how that task should be handled. And in return, you receive your rewards. It could be in monetary value or such, right? But it starts with a dedication and a concentration on being the best you can be at the task that's in front of you and completing it, making sure you're the best at it, right? And that's how it works. And then, of course, there's going to be obstacles because that's part of the game. But you have to persevere and continue to push forward, right? Because you only can go up from where you're at if you continue on that forward progression, or you can do nothing and go down a steady decline. It's up to you, the individual. Now, in the case of black people, he shared a story about couples eating at their restaurant after the civil rights bill was passed, and how they seated them, right? How Sakowitz was one of the first department stores to give out credit to black people, right? But I mention this to say that whatever we as a people and you as an individual focus on and put your mind on, you can achieve. But you have to have goals of achievement, and you have to put forth some physical effort as well as while the universe is working on your behalf. It's a simple science. And you wonder why some won't follow that simple science. Well, that's because due to fear of the unknown, right? Or spell in words, because some words can be a spell, meaning when, let's say, racism, white supremacy, first calls a grown man a boy, right? Or put a negative stereotype that the only thing you can achieve is second-class citizenship in America. Be happy with that. All right. If you internalize that and you believe that to be the truth, then that is what it is for you. But for those who say, nah, not me, I want more, and they fight for more, then they shall receive more. It's up to the individual. Now, how do you overcome fear? Right? Well, you have to know, one, that there is a force out there that's greater than yourself and greater than the fear that you feeling. And believe that that greater force that's out in the universe sees you as just as valuable as and important as anybody else that's walking around here on two legs, right? Then you put your faith out there and you go for it, and knowing that that force, that universal power will catch you. It will not let you fail, because your intentions and reasons why you stepped out in the first place was because you believed. That's why, because you believed that you could do it, and you didn't second guess yourself and let fear choke you, right? So it was an amazing meeting, interview, that I'll keep you all posted on the date and where you can watch it, check it out, and, continue to strive and be the best you. I'd like to thank everyone that came out to Island Spice over the weekend to celebrate and participate in the launch of the new shooting of the new film. We'll also keep you posted on that. Verbal Pick Radio, we're out.